We're back one more time. Feature Sports Bar and Grill is the location for the Seven Rivers Racing Show. I'm Dan Dyker along with Al Losey, Curt Eckelberg, Mandi Eckelberg, Jonathan Eckelberg, and Kim Eckelberg. Our guests in the program, all sponsored by Feature Sports Bar and Grill. And when it comes to sponsorships, we've talked about this quite a bit, that you have a lot of little sponsors that help out through the year. But it's really got to be nice that you have an establishment like this with Jason and Heather that can put their name on all four of your cars.
It's been special. They've been with us since I started racing 24 years ago, and they've never let me down yet. They've always been there. Whatever you need, come on over and get it.
Of course, this is the local hangout after the races are done.
Yep. Well, there's been more and more people that have found this place year after year, and it's getting more and more popular again.
You got to come out here after the races and have a pizza like the Kern Slam down here this past weekend. It was outstanding, and what an establishment! And it's a nice area because you can talk racing at the track, but then you can talk racing I like hearing the aftermath stories. Did you see what so and so did? Did you see what so and so did afterwards?
And it's within walking distance of the track.
It is. It is. Curt, talk about the late model class this year. We're averaging between 24 and 26 cars, and that really has to make folks step up their game.
Yeah, it's been, and you can see, we've had to step up our game. Albert and Al Losey, they've stepped theirs up a ton. The Sauters, the guys that were running the back, you don't want to get lapped every week. You want to try to get that more speed. So we've been trying to keep up with our tire program. Have had John Scott come over and set the valves on the motor a couple times. Just little things like that make you stay with the rest of the field. And it's very, very, very competitive front to back. We're probably not going to win a feature unless we get a good draw or something bad.
You've been on the show. You have to win a feature.
Yeah,
at least a heat race win.
We'll see what happens. But it is fun. I like racing with the guys in the back. They're good and clean drivers too, and it's fun. But one of these years, I'd like to be up front racing with the rest of them.
Mandi, of course, in the Winter World Hornet, one of only, I think, 4 or 5 females that drive in a class that averages 36 cars. Does that ever play into your mind that the pressure's out there, that there's so many more males against the females, or are you just all drivers?
I don't know. At first it kind of scared me because I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and it was a little more crazy than what I thought it was going to be, but I'm pretty competitive, so I just go out there and give it my all.
Now, if you got in the top 5 here last time out, you've been on the show, so you got to win next week. There's 4 of you, so the odds are better. Didn't say all of you have to win next week, but one of the 4 to fill in the karma is going to have to win.
Well, it'll probably be Mandi. She's been doing the best. So.
We have the Eckelbergs on the program today, and I know Albert's got a whole bunch of questions he wants to throw down to the other side there with Jonathan and Kim.
Do you plan on continuing racing after college as far as moving into things like ASA? Has that ever crossed your mind?
As far as traveling, haven't really thought about it too much. I mean, it's something I would definitely consider, but at least for now, sticking local and hopefully I'll be able to find a job after school in the area so I can continue racing and continue the tradition that we have been a part of for so many years now.
Now, Kim, you mentioned that, or Curt has mentioned that he's been racing for 24 years. When you first met him, did you know you were going to be involved in car racing as a driver?
When I met him, he was not racing. But he has been racing as long as we have been married.
So you're the one that got him into racing?
Well, I don't know about that, but we've been doing it all along.
Does there ever come a point where you go home after night, whether one's racing or all 3 are racing, and it was just a bad night and you get frustrated and you just want your family back, or are you satisfied with having a racing family?
There is some frustration there at night, kind of deal with it, maybe discuss it, whatever.
Tell the truth now, Kim.
Yes. Discuss is a good word.
Kind of work through it eventually, we just let it go for the night.
Eckelberg Racing Family, the biggest family of racers out at the Speedway, and we do appreciate all 4 of you coming on today. Kim will be driving a Hornet again. I think next year is when we want to see it. You need to run Oktoberfest. We're gonna have I'm making a Facebook page. Get Kim in Oktoberfest. You'll see Jonathan Eckelberg running Oktoberfest. Man, you gonna run Fest?
I don't know yet. We'll see.
And of course, Curt, you're gonna be out there.
Oh yeah.
All four of them, right here, are sponsored by Feature Sports Bar and Grill. You know, talking about sponsors, we do want to let you know, Lost Leg Beer, a sponsor of our program this year, Joe Weiss. Big congratulations comes out this week. You can now find Lost Leg Light, which is your favorite Lost Leg ice that's in bottles.
Yes, I love the bottles. It makes the beer taste nice and cold for a lot longer.
I've always liked beer out of a bottle, especially Lost Leg.
Yeah, it's like drinking out of a glass.
First time in 2.5 years, City Brewery has been bottling the beer, and as I was looking over my notes earlier, they increased their margin of sales ×5 since Joe brought it out.
Oh, Joe has done an excellent job with this. It's his brand, it's his baby, and he's really gotten a lot of cooperation with the La Crosse Brewery, and they're putting out an incredibly great product.
Well, you can find a complete race recap, and we'll set you up for racing on Saturday night. If you tune in to my AM 580 WKTY race report that Jonathan was on here a couple of weeks ago, it's 4 to 5 on Saturdays. Also check out youtube.com/7riversracing. You'll see the program in its entirety all year long. Our producer Jesse does a fantastic job of putting the show together and getting it up on YouTube for us. Want to thank our show sponsors, and of course want to thank Heather and Jason for bringing us out here to features today with the Eckelberg Racing Family. If someone's got a question for these four or us, how can they direct those?
They can go to www.fansarena.com/7riversracingshow.html.
Already, lacrossespeedway.com, dellsracewaypark.com, mississippiThunder.com. They've got their championship coming up this weekend, and we'll let you know more about the big Fall Fest at Rockford and the upcoming shows at Oktoberfest at La Crosse. On behalf of the Eckelberg Racing Family and the Currens over here, waving very gently, Al Ossie and Van Dyke, I want to thank you for joining us. We'll be back next weekend right here on KQEG TV.